Good day to you, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our Festival of the Christ healing service.
Invocation to the Christ. Lord Christ, Master of all masters and teacher of angels and of men, the great spiritual head of hierarchy, the kingdom of souls, mediator between Shambhala and hierarchy, and between the hierarchy and humanity, the first of our humanity to attain divinity, the eldest in a great family of brothers. You were deemed so pure, so holy, and so enlightened that you were permitted to embody for us the great cosmic principle of love, thus revealing to us for the first time the nature of the heart of God. You are the world healer and savior. You bring the healing of the nations in your wings. You work today as you worked 2,000 years ago through groups. So here we are, standing as a group gathered in your name, as an international group within the third seed group of magnetic healers. We who are in training for future world salvaging offer ourselves as outposts of the consciousness of the hierarchy of masters, as channels for the downpouring desire of the spiritual forces of hierarchy and of your cosmic love, Christ, as a focal point of distribution upon earth of the energies of life emanating from the soul plane. Help us to bring the physical world into a condition whereby the healing of the nations through the arising of the Sun of Righteousness can be a definite possibility.
Let us align with our own soul. Raise the consciousness into the head, as high in the head as you can. And carry the consciousness upward through the astral body and the mind to the soul. Visualize a lotus, fully open, scintillating with light as a symbol of your soul body. Now place yourself in the center of your lotus. Realize that you, the personality, and you, the soul, are one. From that point, definitely and consciously, assume the attitude of the observer. Observe the personality below and visualize your etheric body. See energy flowing freely up and down the etheric spine. Consciously throw soul energy down into the center at the base of the spine. You may use indigo blue light or visualize golden liquid light descending from your soul to your base chakra. Raise it slowly via each chakra along your spine, nourishing and vitalizing them. Then to the ajna and the crown, up into the soul body. Let us focus on our egoic lotus, a tool of unlimited love, forgiveness, and compassion. Visualize it vitalized, expanding with unconditional love. And from that center, send a ray of golden light to your crown chakra, the center of self-consciousness. And know who you are, the soul. Fully understanding the meaning of the words and standing as a soul, say softly, I am the soul. I am light divine. I am will. I am love. I am fixed design. And sound the Om from the head center, knowing yourself to be the soul who is breathing it forth. And now see in your mind's eye the members of our group in a circle. Link up with each other subjectively, as well as with other healing groups that you may be affiliated. Feel a deep union with each other, recognizing consciously that all souls are one. Let's unite subjectively with our fellow brothers and sisters and invoke each other's strength. Let us say the mantra of the world saviors together. I am a messenger of light. I am a pilgrim on the way of love. I do not walk alone, but know myself as one with all great souls and one with them in service. Their strength is mine. This strength I claim. My strength is theirs, and this I freely give. A soul I walk on earth, I represent the one. And let us sound an Om as a group as we link up with our healing companions. At the Aries full moon, the forces of restoration connected with a divine intelligent principle are deployed to make men think, plan, and take intelligent action, to stimulate people to be forward-looking and to hope with greater conviction and courage for a better world setup. At the Taurus full moon, the forces of enlightenment connected with the second divine principle of love and wisdom are unleashed to inaugurate an era of right thinking in the establishment of right human relations, to intensify spiritual values, to strengthen the will to good in all lovers of humanity. And at the Gemini full moon, the forces of reconstruction related to the first divine principle of will are released to bring about the rebuilding of the tangible world upon new lines, to inspire nations with the theme of unity.
The forces of reconstruction will be set in motion by the Christ at the June full moon. The focus of their work will definitely be upon the physical plane. Their task is to precipitate and bring into manifestation that which the work of the forces of restoration and of enlightenment have made subjectively possible. The unique opportunity which confronts the Christ as his great hour draws near is that of unifying, synthesizing, and integrating all these forces into one great and potent downpouring of spiritual energy. These energies involve the activities of the spirit of reconstruction, the inspiration of the Buddha, as he this year conveys the strength of the one in whom we live and move and have our being, and that which the Christ himself will set in motion in response to the invocative appeal of the new group of world servers, the men of goodwill and the massed intent of the inarticulate masses. It is essential that we try to grasp the unity of this hierarchical effort. Let's ponder on that during the Gemini period. invoking the Savior of our planet. Lord of the world, the Ancient of Days, Sanat Kumara, you made the ultimate sacrifice to incarnate and enter into the form of this little planet. It is your choice, motivated by your fixed intention, to function as the savior of the planet and not to leave your post until the last weary pilgrim has found his way home. You are the prototype of all world saviors. We, the divine sensitives, are in training for future world salvage. Like our great master, the Christ, we intend to shoulder our share of the world's suffering, thereby forming one of the great groups of his companions who are pledged to the fellowship of his sufferings and his patience, as he is pledged to you, Lord of Shambhala.
Now let us visualize an important alignment forming between the avatar of synthesis, the embodiment of power, implementing both light and love, the spirit of peace, the embodiment of love, establishing right human relations, and the Buddha, the embodiment of light, powering the Christ at the center of this triangle. Let us visualize another pronounced alignment of a triangle also forming between the Lord of the world, link through the Manu, representing Shambhala, the Christ, the Prince of Peace, representing hierarchy, and the Master Ah, the Lord of Civilization, representing humanity, setting up a potent note and vibration, invoking the spirit of peace. We ask that the angel of the presence, the soul of humanity, as embodied in the hierarchy, and all
Pedimos que el ángel de la presencia, el alma de la humanidad, tal como está encarnada en la jerarquía y en todos aquellos que se están esforzando conscientemente para funcionar como almas, agiten ahora los depósitos de fuerza y luz en los niveles etéricos de Shambhala, para que pueda tener lugar la definitiva curación de las naciones.
we ask that the angel of the presence, the soul of humanity, as embodied in the hierarchy, and all those who are consciously endeavoring to function as souls, now stir the reservoirs of force and light upon etheric levels in Shambhala, so that a definite healing of the nations can take place.
Invoking the Christ. Christ, the embodiment of freedom and the messenger of liberation. You stimulate the group spirit and the group consciousness. Your spiritual energy is the attractive force, binding men and women whose hearts are full of goodwill throughout the world, irrespective of religion or nationality, together for the common good. We invoke your presence and livingness as we stand with mass intent, with hope and with expectancy. You said 2,000 years ago, I, if I be lifted up, will draw all men unto me. And that you would be present if two or more gathered in your name. Today, we have gathered in your name. Be with us. We ask respectfully and ardently that you draw our modest group closer to your heart by filling our hearts and by pouring your magnetic will, abundant love, and the livingness of your being into our group soul, so that the spirit in the hearts of those we touch may be resurrected, the harmony between their soul and personality be restored, and their lower nature transfigured.
Christ, Lord of love, gather the invocative appeal of the new group of world servers, men of goodwill and massed intent of humanity. Mariana.
I'm sorry, I don't have the text in French. Nobody sent it to me. I'm so sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay. Christ, Lord of love, gather the invocative appeal of the new group of world servers, men of goodwill and massed intent of humanity. Unify, synthesize, and integrate all these forces into one great and potent downpouring of spiritual energy, and transmit it in an act of spiritual intent to Shambhala. We ask that you work through us, Lord Maitreya, as we gather in your name as a group. And now visualize the flow of energy of the will to good being released from Sirius, the source of cosmic love, to Gemini, the gateway of love and wisdom into our solar system, to Mercury, Venus, and the Earth, the rulers of Gemini, to the Christ, a Syrian initiate. And now let us link the 4 sets of triangles to focus, step down, vitalize, and direct the energy of love. And let's superimpose our triangles. See your soul triangle made up of will, love, and intelligence petals. Superimpose it on the chakric triangle made of head, ajna, alta major. Then superimpose it on the gland triangle made up of the pineal gland, pituitary body, and carotid gland. And let's superimpose these blended triangles on the ajna triangle made up of our ajna, right eye, left eye. And now let's align the centers for the healing group. Now look up and see a larger triangle made up of the Christ, Master DK, and the healing Devas. And superimpose this large triangle on all the smaller triangles of the members of our healing group.
They unite the force.
Lynn?
Invoking the angels. The call has gone out for the angel hierarchy to approach humanity with their heightened vibration and superior knowledge. They unite their groups with those of the Christ and his disciples for the helping of the human race. We thus invite the presence of all violet and gold healing angels working under Christ and under the wise supervision of Master DK to join us in our efforts to bring soul energies down to the physical plane. Violet and gold angels, we request your cooperation in enhancing our energies and radiating the dual and united lines of love and magnetism to humanity. We seek to help.
Let's visualize them surrounding us and enlivening us with their magnetism. Holding the consciousness in the head and visualizing this triangle of a deep electric blue, vivid and living. Let us be fully aware, each of us, being only a channel for the healing energy emanating from our deep blue group soul under DK's supervision. And picture our group as a giant lotus, as a radiant center of energy or a vivid point of light, irradiated with the light of the Christ in hierarchy. And sound an Om as the group enhanced by the Christ light and love.
Oh.
And let us say the following healer's mantram together, with purity of motive, inspired by a loving heart. We offer ourselves for this work of healing. This offer we make as a group, and to our fellow men, we seek to heal. our love and joy as a group and as individuals carry the healing vibration of the hierarchy.
Tình thương và niềm vui của chúng con như một nhóm và mỗi cá nhân mang theo rung động chữa lành từ thánh đoàn.
We offer ourselves as a group, as a channel, so that your energy and attention, Lord Maitreya, could penetrate more deeply on etheric levels and be distributed for the healing of the nations.
Chúng con hiến dâng mình như một nhóm thành vận hà cho năng lượng và sự chú ý của người. Đức Maitreya có thể tiến nhập sâu hơn vào các cấp độ dị thái và được ban giải cho việc chữa lành các quốc gia.
And now let's visualize the healers in a circle and place humanity within our circle. And in our mind's eye, see the healer's united aura surrounding and blending with a group aura of humanity. And now from the Ajna center, see moving lines of living light substance going out from you to the heart center of the group and humanity, linking you to your healing brothers on one hand and humanity on the other. Then use directed thought for a brief moment. Think of humanity you seek to heal, linking up with them and focusing your attention on them so that they become a reality in your consciousness and close to them. Recall briefly humanity's difficulties to your mind and then dismiss them. Coronavirus, tension between nations, war, aggression, separation and hate, autocratic regimes, the unleashing of cruelty, barbarism, and suppression of freedom. Now dismiss all these difficulties.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity.
Raise me up. I can stand on mountains. Walk the stormy sea. And I am strong when I am on your shoulder. Oh, you raise me up to more than I can be.
You raise me up to more than I can be.
The leader of the conflict against evil in high places is the Christ, the head of hierarchy. He knows himself to be the inner spiritual commander of the armies of the Lord.
Ο ηγέτης της διαμάχης ενάντια στο κακό σε υψηλούς τόπους είναι ο Χριστός, η κεφαλή της ιεραρχίας. Γνωρίζει ότι είναι ο εσωτερός πνευματικός διοικητής των στρατιωτών του Κυρίου.
His is the responsibility of awakening the souls of men to their presented opportunity and to the need of bringing to an end this ancient conflict between the lords of evil and the messengers of light.
Εκείνος έχει την ευθύνη της αφύπνισης των ψυχών των ανθρώπων, στην παρουσιαζόμενη για αυτούς ευκαιρία και στην ανάγκη για τερματισμό αυτής της αρχαίας διαμάχης ανάμεσα στους κυρίους του κακού και τους αγγελιοφόρους του φωτός.
Christ will bring the healing of the nations in his wings. And now let's invoke these great spiritual beings by visualizing the flow of unconditional love or the will to good emanating from the triangle, the avatar of synthesis, the spirit of peace, and the Buddha, powering the Christ at the center. Let's superimpose the radiating triangle on another triangle consisting of the Christ, Master DK, and our soul group. Then superimpose these blended triangles on our group chakric triangle, vitalizing it. And this triangle is made up of our group crown chakra, our group ajna, and our group alta major. Then directing the dispelling radiance of the will to good via our group ajna, right eye, left eye triangle, let's place the blended triangle, impressing it over the 3 planetary centers triangle, London, Geneva, and New York. And from these 3 outlets, see the energy of love flow to the rest of the world. As the energy of love strengthens the heart of humanity. Let us sound one Om, carrying the will to good as we direct it to the heart of humanity via these 3 planetary outlets. And as you do this, say it aloud in a low voice. Say this slowly and deliberately, believing in the results. May the love of the One Soul, focused in this group, radiate upon you, our fellow men, and permeate every part of your body, healing humanity's sacral, soothing humanity's solar plexus, strengthening humanity's heart, and dissipating via humanity's throat center all that hinders service and good health. And now let's withdraw the healing energy from our hands back to the brain, to the ajna, and back to the soul. Let us thank the inner group of souls who have joined us subjectively for their participation. Let us thank the Christ and Master DK for their radiating presence. And let us thank the healing angels for their contribution and their magnetism. At the June full moon of 1945, Christ announced his decision as final and irrevocable to reappear again on the physical plane.
Bei Vollmond im Juni 1945 verkündete Christus seine Entscheidung als endgültig und unwiderruflich, wieder auf der physischen Ebene zu erscheinen.
The decision of Christ to appear again amongst men, bringing his disciples with him, drew forth his permission from the Lord of the world, the Ancient of Days.
Die Entscheidung Christi, wieder unter den Menschen zu erscheinen und seine Jünger mit sich zu bringen, brachte diese Erlaubnis des Herrn der Welt, des Alten der Tage hervor.
The right to use certain great words of power or stanzas of direction is never lightly accorded.
Das Recht, bestimmte große Worte der Macht oder Verse der Richtung zu verwenden, wird niemals leichtfertig gewährt.
He used it himself for the first time, we are told, at the time of the full moon of June 1945, which is recognized as the full moon of the Christ. They, meaning the members of hierarchy, also use this great invocation, and not a day goes by that the Christ himself doesn't sound it forth. The festival in June, peculiarly the festival of the Christ, when he, as leader of the new group of world servers, employs the new invocation on behalf of all men of goodwill in all lands.
O festival em junho, particularmente o Festival do Cristo, quando ele, como líder do novo grupo de servidores do mundo, emprega a nova invocação em nome de todos os homens de boa vontade em todas as terras.
At the same time, he gathers up the incoherent and unexpressed demands of those masses who seek a new and better way of life.
Ao mesmo tempo, ele reúne as demandas incipientes e não expressas daquelas massas que buscam um novo modo de vida e melhor.
They want love in daily life, right human relations, and an understanding of the underlying plan.
Eles querem amor na vida diária, relações humanas corretas e uma compreensão do plano subjacente.
The great invocation is in reality a great method of integration. The great invocation relates the will of the Father or of Shambhala, the love of the hierarchy, the service of humanity into one great triangle of energies. This triangle will have two major results: the sealing of the door where evil dwells, and the working out through the power of God, let loose on earth through the invocation of the plan of love and light.
Let's now picture our group surrounding Master DK and members of hierarchy, facing three windows, north, east, and west, as symbols of the three qualities of the soul: will, love, and intelligence. Let us say the great invocation as a group, with intensity of feeling, in unison with our healing brothers on earth and hierarchy on the inner planes. And we will sound a blue Om after each stanza as we visualize a shaft of light or of love or will to good descending and pouring down on earth. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. And now raise your clasp hands above the head and say, and so let it be, and help us to do our part. Then bring them down to your forehead and let them rest on your heart. We have instructions from DK, who says that for the 2 days prior to the full moon, on the day of the full moon itself, and for the 2 succeeding days, that is 5 days, endeavor at sunrise, at noon, at 5 o'clock, and at sunset, plus the exact time of the full moon in your own land, to say the great invocation with the intent to invoke, to precipitate, and to anchor in outer manifestation the waiting potencies. Do this aloud when possible, and in group formation whenever feasible. And at the time of the full moon of May and June, it will be advisable to use both these invocations, that is, the one given in 1935 and the one given in 1940, and thus to blend and fuse into one united invocation the massed intent of humanity as a whole and the enlightened purpose of the disciples and the hierarchy. The fusion of the two groups, humanity and hierarchy, may then suffice to sound out such a potent call that life may be released on earth instead of death, and the love of God play its active part in the reconstruction of world affairs. And the first invocation, given in 1935, was intended to invoke the forces of light and love.
Let the forces of light bring illumination to mankind. Let the spirit of peace be spread abroad. May men of goodwill everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation. May forgiveness on the part of all men be the keynote at this time. Let power attend the efforts of the great ones. So let it be, and help us to do our part.
And the second invocation, given in 1940, it is an invocation of great power, which was intended to suit the conditions of war and intended to invoke the forces of life.
Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to the sons of men. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming save. Come forth, O mighty one.
Yeah.
Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may they stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth. The end of woe has come. Come forth, O mighty one. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, O mighty one. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, O mighty one, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end.
May the blessing of the Christ and of hierarchy rest upon all true servers, and may they stand tranquil in the midst of strife. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. It was such a joy and a privilege to be meditating with all of you on this very, very special full moon day of Gemini. Thank you. We'll also like to thank our interpreters in the 4 language rooms, Greek, Portuguese, Spanish, and Vietnamese, for doing such a great job, for all the readers who have willingly added their voices to the richness of our service, and for Jo for organizing the webinar and for expertise and for her technical expertise. When Zoom works, it works beautifully and it's fantastic. And Jo is responsible for making everything go so smoothly. So thank you, Jo.